Yes, people. What's going on in Seagull Talks Football? We are back again with another video. I hope you guys are doing well. It's been a couple days since my last video. I hit the wonderful mark of 30,000 subscribers, and I just want to thank all my subscribers. Please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new, of course, let's try to get ourselves now to 50K. I guess that's the new landmark we need to try to get to. And also, of course, please do hit the like on the video. Let's try to get this video past at least 150 likes. If you see it less than that, you need to hit that like button right now. We're going to be talking about the Liverpool-Chelsea game. We're going to be talking about Bournemouth-Arsenal. We're going to be talking about West Ham-Tottenham. Could West Ham be above Tottenham by the end of the week? Man City, of course, are playing Wolves, which is a team that have taken points off them in the past. And it's going to be a very interesting week, to say the least. Let's get into it. We got a wonderful panel for you guys, as always, and we're going to bring them on right now. Before we go any further, let me bring on Vader Games. How you doing, Vader? How's everything? You there? Vader's not in the building. Okay. Usually he's there, but then he just flips his camera. But we'll wait. We'll bring him back in a bit. What are you saying, Ahmed? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Always good, amazing sensation. I hope you're all doing well.
There you go. You must have a lot of previews and match conversations to talk about with Liverpool and Chelsea, and it being a big game after the international break. You must be excited.
Somewhat. I'm always excited about all Chelsea. I mean, the excitement is always here. But listen, I'm just waiting for the match at this point. You know what I mean? You know, I want to see the game happen before I start, seeing my points.
There you go. And we got Rack here. Guys, we couldn't find you a deluded Liverpool fan. Rack is a sensible one. So you're not going to get to have some ridiculous takes. But he will always find a way to surprise you.
Don't speak too soon. Anyway.
Yeah, he'll always find a way to surprise you.
He's got enough ridiculous takes with the rest of the panel. So, it's fine.
There you go. And he's got a new haircut.
Inspired.
Doing good. What's good, everyone in the chat? Please do let us know whatever topics you guys want to discuss. If you guys want to discuss a specific player or a specific matchup throughout the video, we will make sure we hit those topics as we go. Of course, Vader will be joining us once Vader joins us. He'll be joining us when he joins us. And we will also have Jay and Ahmed, who is a Man United fan, who had glowing reviews in his last video with us. Everyone loved Ahmed. So hopefully he joins us soon and you guys love him too. And of course, Jay, who is a very controversial figure that you guys love to hear from also. But yeah, at this moment in time, we got about 25 of you guys on YouTube and about 30 plus of you guys on Twitter. Please do continue to like the video, as that will continue to push through more audiences and more people. Jim Mubarak to you in the chat and to all my panelists also. Yeah, let's just get started with, you know what? Let's get started with, oh, he just joined. Ahmed's in the building too. Ahmed's name, you guys can't see it, but his name is fucking Hog. Wallahi.
Listen. Big up, man. Apologies for being late.
No worries. You're good, bro. There's still somebody in the panel that's not here yet. But I was going to actually start with Arsenal, but maybe it's better off to start with United. United play Brentford. Bro, what are you saying? You want to lose?
Listen. Do I want to lose? What do you mean?
You want to lose so Ten Hag gets sacked quicker? What are you saying?
Listen, when it comes to United, yeah, hold on. When it comes to United, I personally wouldn't want my team to lose, innit? Listen, I wouldn't want my team to lose. But if you told me that us losing to Brentford is going to get him sacked, I actually don't care. Like, I genuinely, yeah, at this point, I just want him gone at all costs, because if rival fans are saying to us, yeah, that, oh, we want Ten Hag to stay, then why would I want the same thing as the rivals? Because the only time that I would start caring, yeah, is that we're not really competing for anything. We're not really competing for a Champions League. We're not even in the Champions League. We're not competing for a title. We're not really playing for anything this season. So what does a win against Brentford mean? What does it actually mean to United? Okay, we beat Brentford. That's 3
points in the table, man. 3 points going up in the table.
Nah, that 3 points. No, because that 3 points isn't going to lead us to anything. It's not going to lead us to anything.
Have you ever been here before where you wanted to lose intentionally?
I personally, listen.
No,
there's been times, yeah.
No,
listen, I don't want to. I've not been happy with.
Oh, sorry, there's two Ahmed. I was talking about Chelsea Ahmed.
Because
yeah,
there's been of course there's been times where, like, listen, yeah, I thought the guy should have been gone, and obviously it hasn't happened yet. And the only thing I can really do in those situations is just, again, just support the team, bro. You know what I mean? He can't really do anything about it. The reality is, like, I may want someone gone, but if the club is not willing to do so, right? All like, you know what I mean? I can't provide more negativity. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's like, end of the day, my views are clear. All I can do at this point is just hope that we can get out of this muck. Because if that makes sense, bro.
Ahmed, you want Ten Hag sacked so bad, you would rather face one more big defeat than have him continue to keep the job. That's your point, right?
Yeah. Because
the
what's
thing
one
is,
big
like,
defeat? I'll tell you why, though, Ahmed and Egal and everyone else. Think about it, yeah? This guy has already broken every single record you can think of. Any record you can think of, yeah, he's broken it. Yeah, he's broken it. Now, we're already getting slapped up. We're already getting slapped up by every single team, whether that's mid-table, whether that is bottom table, whether that is whatever, yeah. At the end of the day, facing another defeat isn't going to surprise me, and I'm not going to start crying over it. I'm at that point, yeah, where I've accepted who we have as a manager, and I've accepted that he is incompetent. Why? I do not support this manager. I do not support him. I don't support him. I support Man United, and I support the club. Of course, I want the club to do well. However, if the club want to move forward, it's not with Ten Hag. So I'm against the manager. I want what's best for United. And what's best for United is getting rid of this guy, because he's not moving the club forward. He's actually doing more harm than good. Us backing him more, us giving him more time, us doing more things with him is setting the club even further back.
But the problem I have with this Ahmed is that I think
I'm not actively watching games and going oh, get in Brentford, or get in Brentford.
No, everything you're saying about, like, obviously him needed to get. Okay, I can agree with all of that, right? But the issue is, this realistically should have happened 2 weeks ago, right? Not now. This should have
100%.
happened last, right? That's when it should have happened. Because right now, yeah, we can't be sacking someone after international break, like, you know, and be like, the first game after international break.
We've seen it happen.
Okay,
before.
bang. But that, for me, when that happens, by the way, that just shows you how stupid the guys at the top are. Why are you sacking him at Brentford? Yeah, when technically speaking, he should really be sacked beforehand, when you have more than enough time to actually allocate a guy to bring in, or have an interim at least prepared. Because now you're setting up the interim to failure, because you're like, hey, interim, in 4 days' time after the Brentford game, you've got a Europa League game, do some magic. That's what you're asking the interim to realistically do. Like, if that makes sense, Gal, bro. And like, whether we like it or not, that you're setting the interim up for failure himself. You're setting the team up for failure as well. I don't know.
What
I think Vader's
laughing.
Yeah,
Vader's laughing.
Yeah, this is absolutely hilarious. I love these takes. I love these thoughts from rivals as well as obviously United fans. I mean, I got to disagree with both Ahmeds in this case, which is very funny, because Ten Hag, obviously, you're saying in one breath that you don't want him to lose, but you're saying that if he loses, he's out the door, and that's what's best for the club. So you're saying that you want him to lose because that's what's going to be best for the club. Now, also, Ahmed, Chelsea fan, you're way off. He should have been fired. He should have been sacked 2 weeks ago. How do we know this?
The reason why I'm saying that, though, like,
no, hold on. How do we know this when I happen to believe that Omar Barada is a very competent board member, leader, CEO? I happen to believe that Sir Ratcliffe, who obviously United fans were very happy to take on and take away the responsibility from the Glazers, would do what's necessary to get the club back to its winning ways. So these are two additions to the club that obviously want to get the club back to winning ways. The fact that they're not doing the Glazer way of firing the manager actually makes sense to me. They're taking their time.
You're talking about the general consensus of United fans, because if you actually, like, if you wanted my, I've always wanted the Qataris. No,
but like, okay, you always wanting the best, that's fine. We all want the best, but you didn't get it. So now your reality is Sir Ratcliffe. Now, are you saying because you didn't get Qataris, you're Sir Ratcliffe out? No, you're accepting it.
I'm not Sir Ratcliffe out. I'm not Sir Ratcliffe out yet. But what I'm not going to do, what I'm not going to do is that I'm not going to back these guys blindly and just do whatever they like. Every
Yeah,
decision
but
they
you
make.
you
Oh
wouldn't
yeah,
have backed the Qataris blindly either. So we're at the same place. You would have.
But can I
given
ask
them
you a
time.
question, Via?
Not really,
Yeah.
not really, because the Qatar, not really, because what the Qataris would have done, yeah, is that they would have, they
How
wouldn't
do you
be
know what the
haggling with
Qataris would
money
have
like
done?
that.
How do you know what the Qataris would have done?
We know what the
Yeah,
Qataris are
I
on,
think
bro.
that's fair. I think that's fair, though. I
How
think
do you
Vita's
know?
saying that we don't obviously know that, yeah. But I think I want to come back to a point he made against me about saying, yeah, how do we know he should have been sacked 2 weeks ago? Because I'm like, the question I'm asking to you, yeah, is that let's say you my and I believe, this guy's basically close to getting sacked. Why would I wait one more game, yeah, after the international break, where I could have had a good period and at least getting someone in, if we're not at least preparing the interim to have some level of suitability?
Ahmed, you're the candidate. You're the coaching candidate. Do you want the job right away? Do you want Ten Hag out right away? Or are you looking at the fixtures? Igal, not right now, but maybe in future shows. Pull up the fixtures for United. If I'm the next incoming manager or interim, I'm going to look on when is the sweetest spot for me to come in with very little pressure, low expectations, and not the demand of playing against some of these big clubs. I think INEOS have been pretty
Right now
smart.
would be perfect.
Why
Yeah,
would
but
right
the
now be
problem with
perfect?
that is
Can't lie to you. They face Brentford, which is a tough team. They then face Jose Mourinho, the former manager, and go to West Ham. You know what I mean? Then they have Leicester. Okay, Leicester's all right. But then they face us, Chelsea. Hey, Parks, actually, listen, I'll tell you what, man. These Greek teams are tough teams, man. I'm scared to let you know.
Listen,
If
it's better now. It's
No
better now
way.
when you actually have time to train
No way.
than
No.
going in December.
I'm
I'm
taking the appointment versus Bournemouth after the Manchester City game. That's what I'm coming in.
The problem is that one of the
You're doing that for your own vested interest.
You're losing points, but you're still bleeding.
No, but one of the supposed candidates was Tommy T. Now all of a sudden Tommy T's taking the England job. He's out of the picture.
And I think we need to realize. I think my issue is, by the way,
I don't think they even wanted Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah. My issue with Veta, in my personal opinion, is that you're bleeding right now, right? If you continue the bleeding, right, and you don't stop the bleeding, right, you're gonna lose a lot of blood, and therefore you're not gonna make Europa League, Champions League, or let alone even maybe Conference League at this point, right? So at some point, particularly these clubs like United who need European football or for some level financially speaking, you gotta stop the bleeding at some point, bro. You know what I mean? You can't let the manager come in after 9 games. You know what I mean? Or something like that, which is basically what you're asking for at this point. Can you imagine him coming in 9 games left? You're not gonna be able to save the season at that point.
No. Come on. Coming in December, coming to the job in December it gives you enough time to right the ship and make sure that you're not relegated, right? But my whole thing is
Did you say make sure you're not relegated?
Yeah, that's all that's all that they're hoping for right now. What are they, 14th? They're 14th right now. There's not much.
City fan talking, by the way, when he's got about 200 charges on his head is crazy, by the way. A criminal club. That's mad to me.
No, that's exactly why you should listen to me,
club.
because I know what's in front of me.
A criminal club's talking about what we should be doing.
Crazy. I'm just saying, United fans believe that there's a huge list of managers that want this position.
There is.
Yeah, there is.
And there are managers out there that we can get. Of course, there is.
Oh yes, but you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay big money, and you're also okay. But you're also gonna have to give some guarantees, because again, that's why
it doesn't matter.
It does matter. Let me speak, because if you're an incoming manager,
you go get your guy no matter what.
Failure. If I'm an incoming manager, Ahmed, I've seen how you treated every manager before me. So if I'm coming into the job, I'm having a list of certain things that I need.
How would you treat Ten Hag? We've given him everything he needs. What are you talking about?
Every manager that's come to your club, they end up looking worse and looking like they're done with coaching.
We've given Ten Hag everything. So what are you talking about?
I feel like Ten Hag is an exception. Ahmed, though. Ten Hag is an exception to the rule.
All right, guys. The chat want to ask Ahmed some questions. First of all, do you think you're going to make Europe with United, with Ten Hag?
No, of course not. I don't think we're going to get Europe. I said this even before the season started, bro. Like even before it started, that we're not going to do anything. I've said this.
Would you take Thomas Frank, the guy you're facing this week?
No.
Could it be a trial?
Nah. Thomas Frank is a good coach here, but I wouldn't. He's not like the first choice.
Ahmed, United fan, hasn't hit rock bottom because he's too choosy. He's saying, "Nah, I wouldn't take him."
How am I
You
choosy?
better take him.
No, just because Ten Hag is absolutely awful. You're having someone who's better than him shouldn't be at the bar in it. I've got other managers that I would rather get.
You know what? We leave it there. I think Man United this week, if everyone just wants to give a quick prediction, I think Man United this week, they lose to Brentford. And this could be a situation where they sack him immediately after the international break.
Well, you mean the November one, I'm assuming, right? That's when they sack
No,
him,
they
right?
sack him after this international break. So
Again, but
they
that
would
just
have
makes them look
waited.
foolish, bro.
Is there
Again,
another
They
international
would have
break?
wasted all
There's
this
the November
time.
one, right? There's the November one.
I think they
Oh
would have
my
wasted all this
God,
time
what
and
the
still
hell?
sacked him after the Brentford game if he loses.
He's getting sacked.
Hey,
after a
definitely
loss.
talking to other managers, Egal, be honest, yeah. If you're hearing about news, listen, I'm not saying the news are always right, yeah. But as much as I cook these owners, yeah, ain't no way they aren't talking to other managers behind Ten Hag. No,
100%
I
they are.
am not.
They were talking to
100%
Tom.
they are. Yeah. So 100%, yeah. So these guys are probably talking to Amorim. They're probably talking to Julian Nagelsmann. They're probably talking to Xabi Alonso. They're talking to all these guys. Whether they're going to accept is besides the point. Yeah, clearly, yeah, that these lot are doing their due diligence, yeah, to try and get in their guy. Because think about it, guys. This next decision is the most important one. The appointment of this next manager is the most important. So if they mess it up here, they've already messed up by keeping him. They've already messed up by spending money. They've already messed up by giving players contracts like Bruno and that. So they need to get this decision right. Hence why they're probably taking so much time, yeah, and taking their time when it comes to sacking him. I think what they want to do, yeah, is probably sack him and have a guy in charge.
Where have they messed up with spending money? Where's INEOS messed up spending money? I thought they had a really good transfer window. What are you talking about?
It's not about it's who they spend the money on.
They have wasted money though. Ugarte, let's call it a spade a spade.
Ugate's not worth it, exactly.
One error out of the transfer window. You're really saying
that he spends too much time on Twitter. By the way, he's talking about like the Twitter consents. Like it's very difficult to debate. You're saying, "Oh, your fan base."
I didn't even say your fan base. I said, "How are you saying that they messed up in the they messed up spending money?"
Bro,
can I ask you I've got a question.
No, listen. You, Ahmed. United Ahmed.
You need to bypass the Veta. You need to bypass the Veta press, man. Veta is doing the Veta, you know what I mean? Thing. That's why. But like,
bro, he can't press me, bro.
No. He's doing the trolling. That's what I mean. When he's pressing.
I'm not trolling. Man said they've been wasting money. And all
they
I heard was
money on the wrong guy. On the wrong guy. Listen, let me tell you, the money that they spend.
Bad, Ahmed.
I'm talking about the manager. Am I speaking Chinese or something, bro? Like I'm talking about the manager, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I'm talking to the manager.
Talking about. So wait, who's messed up? Because we know Ten Hag's messed up.
INEOS have messed up. I'll repeat it again. INEOS have messed up by keeping this guy and spending money on him. I'm not talking about the players that we got. I'm talking about the manager who we have. They spent money on him by backing him. They spent the wrong. They spent the money on the wrong guy.
Okay,
can I ask you a question?
Wait 1 second, Chelsea Ahmed. 1 second. I'm not pressing.
How difficult is that?
I'm not pressing him, so it's all calm, right? Now you're talking about. I thought that INEOS are buying players for the club, not the manager.
You do realize, yeah. You do realize, yeah, that when it comes to ownerships, yeah, they're not always going to get players what the manager just wants. They're going to get players that they like as well. That every club does this. Not every player that we're going to get. Ten Hag. Yes, majority have been Ten Hag, yeah. But there's going to be other players. Huh?
I'm just responding to what you said. You said they spent money on backing.
You can't hear it, by the way.
They got players for the club, regardless.
I think it's fair to say INEOS messed up backing Ten Hag or not backing Ten Hag and making this whole thing a debacle.
Exactly. Do you know my issue? I want to ask you.
INEOS hasn't backed Ten Hag with regards to players, though.
No. I want to ask you guys a question. I want to get back to United here, but I want to ask you guys, or ask all the non-United guys here this question because, like, I think that's a fair question to ask. Like, would you not sack this guy before Brentford? Why not sack him? I don't understand. Why are you waiting just for one more game? At this point, it shouldn't be one more game. Like if this was like let's say Ten Hag was the manager of Arsenal and this was his current form, would you not have wanted him already to have been sacked in the international break?
This, bro. Should have sacked him after the 7-0, bro.
No. But I'm just asking. everyone, because if they sack him after Brentford, I find that to be incompetence. Because for me, it's a question now become you could have given any new manager that you wanted a 2-week period
100%.
to actually embed in.
What?
But it is, bro. No, but I'll
Why
be
do
real.
why do you think there's managers ready to want this job though? You make it
No,
seem like
but
they would
like-
fire
but
Ten
like-
Hag. No.
No, but my
No,
issue is
But Vader,
Okay.
serious though. Obviously, Man United. Look, I'll take my Liverpool half. United are one of the biggest teams in the world, right? Yes, it
Yes.
is a challenge, but it's a challenge that any aspirational manager who wants a proper challenge.
But he's
and
not
it
a
will be a
Liverpool fan.
challenge.
He's not familiar with like.
They want to be set up
He's
for
not
success.
familiar with.
No, but let's just think of this from a job standpoint. We all want to come into a job with success. We want to
But
be
right
set up
now-
that way.
No. Yeah, but that's one reason. But also, some other people will tell you for the challenge of taking Man United to the top. That's why Ten Hag, who was a lauded manager, right? Ten Hag was an in-demand manager. He took it because he saw it as a challenge. You know what? I can get United back to where they were. So, United.
We were trophyless before Ten Hag came, by the way, and we weren't in a good place with Ollie. And we got a guy who we thought was going to be good. We can still get managers. People think just because we're not doing good on the pitch, that no manager going to come to United. They're underestimating that we're still the biggest club in England. Yes, we're in the slumps in terms of on the pitch, but we can still attract managers. 110%.
Sporting.
I think,
Of course
I
you
think
will.
the reality is though,
It's
it doesn't.
Jose.
But I don't think it's about names anymore in football. Again, guys, managing names is not the
Exactly.
thing anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Look at what's happening at Bayern at Chelsea, bro. It's no more about big name managers, bro. Big name managers. It's about
Let's
bringing
wrap up
guys
this
that fit your
section
team.
after this.
Yeah, let's bring a
Yeah.
small
The
name
issue
manager
is-
to United.
Guys, let's wrap up this section by just saying, anybody giving Brentford a chance to beat Man United or Man
They're gonna
United?
beat them. They're gonna beat them. I'm telling you right
No,
now. Brentford's gonna
United's getting another draw. This is gonna be a draw.
beat them. No,
Where is it?
I think
Where is
Brentford
it?
beat them.
Where is it?
It's at Brentford, no?
it's at
At home.
Brentford. Yeah,
It's at
Brentford.
home. Or is it
Oh,
not?
you're at home.
It's a
Then-
draw.
I swear it's at home.
I think it's at Brentford.
I mean, that don't make a difference with the way we're playing. So it don't make a
Because
difference.
I usually, whenever it's in West London, they usually, whenever Chelsea's not playing, it's Fulham and Brentford usually play, if I'm not mistaken.
Man United are at home. You're right. So it is at
Oh,
Old
Fair
Trafford.
enough then.
So most likely you can get a scrappy win at home, but you haven't been playing well lately. So
They don't
just-
really play well at Old Trafford though, bro. They don't play well at Old Trafford.
they've scored like 6 goals all season.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I can't lie to you, man. Brentford are gonna get a sneaky 1-0. That's what I said already. Sneaky 1-0 for me.
All right, we keep it moving. Next game, another sneaky team that can get a result off a giant. They've done it before. Wolves versus Man City. Vader, we spoke to you last time.
Brady, you see how he set that up? You see how he set that up?
Yeah, that
I
was
wasn't-
nasty.
That was nasty. All right, we got to talk about this Wolves game being a tricky one. Listen, we're coming out of international break. I didn't like the news that KDB and Nathan Ake still aren't available. They were in training, but they're not going to be available to play, according to Pep in the press conference. This game, listen, guys, this game is it should still be a City win. I'm not even going to spend much time on who I think the predicted 11 is going to be, where I think the dangers are from Wolves. This game in particular, we should be winning this. Wolves have not been looking good. And I'm knocking on wood, which is my desk right now, because I'm not trying to do any type of jinxing. Wolves have not been looking good. We should be winning this game. We need to keep this pressure on Liverpool and Arsenal with these consecutive wins if we can, or non-losses. So expect a City win. We can't keep a clean sheet. It's probably going to be a 3-1, 2-1, but I'm looking at a 3-1.
If Wolves play the way they played against Chelsea, I expect you to hit them with 6 or 7 goals. That's
They're going to respect us way more than they did Chelsea. They're not going to
the
play
way they played against Chelsea. Their goalkeeper was also questionable because the chances that they were taking were decent chances, but the goalkeeper should stop it from that angle.
Oh, bro, you're gonna kill them. You're just gonna kill them, bro. You're gonna put the sword to them. Yeah, man. Listen, the way they were playing against us, the way they even played against Liverpool, on the front foot, they're playing against.
I don't know what they're on. The Mosquito guy left. They lost all their fight. Ever Ever since that guy's been gone, they lost all their fight.
It's a little different. I think it's going to be a little cagey just because they were playing versus a non-Klopp Liverpool. So maybe it's like, hey, we may not respect them like that. They were playing against a Chelsea, which again had to kind of prove themselves. They know exactly what City are. They know exactly what Pep is. So I don't think they're going to be playing that open. But again, I expect us to get this win. We need this. You're on mute, Iga.
Sorry, have you seen their results this season, bro? They conceded 5 to Brentford. They conceded 3 to Aston Villa. They conceded 3 to Brighton. They conceded 6 to Chelsea. These guys have been the whipping boys of the Premier League.
Bro, they lost, bro. Again, I'm being serious when I say this, bro. They lost Max Kilman, their best defender, bro.
I love the supporters from Wolves, especially Wolves FI. Big supporter of all our channels. Big supporter of all our channels, and he's always in the chat. So I'm gonna show him some love. But your team this season, bro, I'm worried Wolves might get relegated if they continue to play at this level. Their manager is gonna be the first one sacked, and they might get relegated. And we don't spend too much time talking about Wolves and other clubs like this. But Man City are facing them this week. And I'm telling you, a lot of your players who have been out of form, who have not had good starts to the season, this is their opportunity to step up. Phil Foden, I'm calling your name. You need to step up. Jeremy Doku, you just scored in the previous game. Do it again. Erling Haaland hasn't scored in 2 games since he told Arteta be humble. Let's see. Do what you got to do. I'm expecting a hat trick.
Are you talking Prem games? Yeah, okay. You're expecting what?
I'm expecting an Erling Haaland hat trick.
Nah, I don't think it'll go too far. The reason why I kind of say that too is because this is a Champions League week, right? So we're coming out of international break. We're gonna have this game versus Wolves. Then we're gonna have who do we play again? Sparta. Yeah, we play Sparta midweek, and then actually it's a nice run. Then we got Southampton. But no, we got to deal with this. We got to deal with this Wolves game. A slapping 3-1.
3-1. Anyone else think anything about Wolves, or should we just keep it moving because we do have a lot of topics to discuss?
No, not really, man. You know what I mean? Man City gonna put salt on them. Simple.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, if Chelsea did, we should, because
Man City got an easy schedule coming up. You got Wolves, Sparta, Prague, and then you're facing Southampton. You got yourself a little easy
man. Yeah, but why are you hiding that, bro? You got an easy fixtures there, mate. What's going on?
This could be an opportunity to get some of those guys who haven't been really going, get them going. I wouldn't be surprised at some point in this you rest Erling Haaland.
Rest Haaland? Nah. The only rest we'll see is going to be October 30th when we play the League Cup, because that's a couple days before the league game. So you're gonna see that.
Before we're gonna wait for Jay to speak about Tottenham and West Ham, but let's talk about another game. Last time when we played Bournemouth, this was the goal. This was the game. Oh, you know what? Jay just joined us as I was about to speak about Arsenal. Jay, I was actually going to speak about Arsenal, but instead we're going to speak about your team.
No. You can talk about Arsenal.
The Arsenal game is probably
this week.
The Arsenal game is probably like, we could talk about that another time. I've already spoken about enough. As for your team, West Ham, Spurs, that's going to be an interesting banana skin game for you. You're facing West Ham at home. It's almost like a must win early in the season, where if you lose, West Ham, people were saying one of the worst starts in their club's history, could be above you by the end of the weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. It's tough times.
Talk to
tough times. Yes, tough times.
It's not looking good, bro.
It's not looking good. Sorry, we don't promote drinking on this, but when we're discussing,
is it a must-win game, Jay?
Grape juice.
When in Rome. Listen,
you need a lot of grape juice for Spurs, doesn't it?
Grape juice or
grape in the Premier League. Everything's must-win. It's Friday, isn't it?
We're not in America, bro. It's not grape drink.
It's grape juice.
You didn't get a reference, but it doesn't matter.
But listen, that's a nice Malbec. What I was gonna say was that the point is if you want to be a top team, you go 2-3 games without a win, it's a crisis. Yeah. So Spurs at the moment, we've had a slow start to the league, you know, and I feel like we've lost narrowly to a number of teams now, but we've been pretty good at home. I'm not really worried about West Ham, famous last words, because I think if we play our game, we're too good for them. You know, we're too good. I thought we were too good for Brighton.
So are you worried about your own team?
It's one of those things where it's like, I feel the team at the moment is just not quite doing enough in certain games just to get over the line. Not quite.
Is it a quality issue or is it an Ange issue?
It's a margins issue. It's just, you know, obviously little things like, you know, Spurs last 2-3 games, we've had no Odegaard, no Son, no Richarlison. So that is, you know, that's 3 out of your 6 or so. Do you know what I mean? So you have got a limitation on what you can do. I think that manifests itself in certain games. You can't keep the pressing quality up, things like that. So, yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Have you seen this image? And everybody here, Ahmed, close your eyes. I know you're gonna hate this. You're old school, but have you seen this image?
I've seen this image.
Apparently, on expected points, Tottenham should be on level on points with Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, and Spurs tied for 3rd in the league. Liverpool should be on 16, and basically saying that the top 3 are overperforming and everyone else is kind of underperforming.
But the thing about stuff like this is, like, I've been saying all season, I haven't thought Tottenham are playing that badly. You know what I mean? And people have like laughed at us. I don't think we're playing that badly. When you look at certain things like that, if you have a Haaland, your expected XG can always be better because you have somebody that's a very good finisher. Do you know what I mean? So there's certain things that you know, Liverpool have got some sharp shooters. They've got Salah, they've got Jota. So if you have players that consistently overperform their XG, like sometimes graphs like that can be a little bit misleading. From my point of view, I think Spurs, you know, they've played Newcastle, Brighton, Leicester. We have 1 point. Do you know what I mean? We should really have minimum of 4. You know, like gun to head, maybe 3. You know, maybe 3 draws or something. But like to have 1 point is bad. But you know, like I say, it's a long season. You know, we're 7 games in. I still have us as one of the favorites for the Europa League. To me, that's
top 4. You forgot about top 4.
It's not about top 4. It's about the ends justifying the means and what you get from being a top 4. There's a lot of Tottenham fans who've always criticized, oh, you just want to qualify for the Champions League. Oh, well, if you win the Europa League, you get the same end result. So to me, it's about the team progressing, the younger players developing.
The Europa League.
Pardon?
What? Why are you laughing and smiling like that, Ahmed? That's rude.
Bro, you're in the conference
league. That's his ambition. Are you winning the conference?
Bro, you're not even in our
It has to be automatic. It has to be automatic that we win. I don't even speak about.
Wait,
that's guaranteed, mate.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah, he's a Tottenham fan.
Yeah, I'm a Tottenham fan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're a Tottenham fan.
Yeah,
why are you a Tottenham?
Bro, chill out, man.
You've got a Manc accent. You've got a Manc accent. Are you
I live
from
in Manchester? I live in Manchester.
Why would you choose Tottenham if you live in Manchester? I live in Manchester. Why did you choose Tottenham?
Okay. Well, it depends. You obviously, first of all, you don't really pick your team. Your team picks you. So there's that. You know, I didn't live in Manchester. Say, oh, I'm gonna. You know, like your team picks you. It's the team that resonates the most when they play. It's the team that gives you the most joy, affection. You buy into it. So, you know, my team picked me when I was young and I was living like closer to London then. And I've kept my team my whole way through. Like, it's not, you know, Tottenham is always the team that's meant the most to me.
I respect that. I respect
that. You know it is, man. Ahmed's a glory hunter because he's in Manchester. The red side was always winning.
It would have been so easy to change to Man United when I was younger. Like, my parents even tried.
You were basically Man City last year. The last 3 years, you're basically Man City, so it's all good.
No, it's like the thing. Listen, I like you guys
to win, right?
My nephew supports City. Like, you'd be amazed how many young kids in Manchester support City now.
Obviously, we know why. supporting City. We know why, because of Sheikh Mansour, isn't it? That's the reason why. It's not because of City. It's
Glory
because of
of
the
Allah, man.
ownership.
Glory of
Are you saying it's because of Sheikh Mansour, or are you saying it's because they're successful? Because just as
Nah,
you were a
what-
United fan, because United was successful when you were younger, yeah.
Mm.
Because so you're
Then
talking to me
City
about
haven't been-
why do you support United? Forget me, yeah.
I
Because
support United.
no, there's no obligation to
Because he
support a
was
crap
born
team.
and raised in
I
that city.
support a team that doesn't win
Jay,
trophies. There's
he's
no
been
glory
pressed
around
already.
here.
Don't press him again. Don't press him
So
again.
I'm curious about you. You support Man United, the glorious Man United. who,
Say it
when you
again,
were
by the way.
younger, you're not from Manchester. Why do you support United?
Yes, I am. I am from
What-
Manchester. I live in Manchester.
He lives
I
in-
was
how
born
much
here.
He lives in Manchester. What's this about?
That's the
See,
first thing he said to you. You're not listening.
Yes.
I'm not listening. I'm not listening. The why? Yeah, I didn't know you're a Manchester United fan in Manchester. Okay, apologies. That's
Yeah.
rare.
That's why he called out your accent. Anyways, Ahmed, what do you think about expected points?
Why are we doing this?
Ahmed.
for?
My expected.
What do you think about
Listen,
Man
just
United's
call
expected points?
Now, you know what? I'm just going back to this. Have you always lived in Manchester?
Always lived in Manchester. Yeah.
So you were born in Manchester.
Born in Manny. Yeah.
Born in
Born in
Manny.
Manny.
Okay.
Yeah.
My
My
You know what I
accent.
mean?
Yeah. Born.
Okay.
It's true though.
All right, all right.
Okay.
Well,
Guys, you know what? Forget about the what do you call it? Checking where he's born and stuff. Let's just go back to this game. I think West Ham could cause Tottenham problems if they're clinical. But West Ham have had an issue being clinical. They've not been clinical. They've continuously wasted chances, and it's a hard task to ask a team who's been extremely wasteful to be clinical. Last game they were, but last game they were facing Ipswich. It's not that hard. Tottenham is going to be a completely different story.
What you need to understand about us at Tottenham is like teams. People will pretend that teams want to play the way that they play against Tottenham when they play us, but they don't. Like we're making teams play like that. West Ham is one of those teams where at home, same thing. People were like, "Oh, Brentford came, we smashed them. Everton came, we smashed them." Like at home, we've been good. We've been very good this season. Bar the Arsenal game, which we still kept you to the lowest. Yeah, we still played objectively well. We still allowed Arsenal to create the lowest amount of chances that they have all season in any game. But people will constantly say Tottenham can't defend. But Arsenal had to score from a set piece and created not so much around it. So for me, this game is like a strangulation game. The more you press West Ham, the more you keep it in our final third, in their defensive third, they're going to struggle to get it out. So this is where I guess the oxymoron will come in for West Ham. Is if you play Antonio, yeah, I trust Romero and Van de Ven to eat him up and to
Is full crook back?
Say again?
Is full crook back? German tracker didn't work.
Yeah. Listen, but that's my point. If you're gonna put,
he's not starting, bro. It's Mikel Antonio starting.
Yeah. So the way I look at it is they could
Mikel Antonio back the brace and got an assist last.
No, but the thing is, Fulkrug has been injured. He's actually been injured. That's why he's not been playing. He's been out.
I don't know if that guy's good enough to play in the Premier League, bro.
I don't know. I disagree. I think he's quite good. I think he can do a job, honestly.
No,
big up Zaid. Big up Zaid for the raid. Big up Zaid for the raid. Go subscribe. Go check out Zaid's channel, man. Big up to the Chelsea guys over there.
Big up to my guys, man. Big up to my guys.
Yeah, but I'm saying.
Why do I keep saying Zaid? I'm so sorry. Zia.
Man saying in English.
This. It's actually bad. I call Saad Said and I call Zaid, what do you call it? Ziyad Zaid.
Yeah.
I need to stop doing that. I'm sorry.
So the reason why I'm not as worried is because when you're obviously I think Tottenham are probably the best pressers in the league.
Up to Chelsea.
Yeah, we're probably the best pressers in the league in theory. So the thing when you're a good press inside, the defenders eventually they'll hit it long. Yeah. So when West Ham are not playing the Fulkrugs or the Antonios, they're not going to be able to hold the ball up as well. Yeah. But on the flip side, from a technical point of view, if they play those players, they're not going to have the technical security they would have in playing Bowen. So they're kind of damned if they do, damned if they don't. So if Tottenham play well, we'll win this game somewhat comfortably. I'm not a huge fan of the short turnaround after international duty, but yeah, we're it's one of those games where we just need to win this game. We've got a slightly more favorable run coming up. I feel like Spurs have had a fairly tricky start to the season. You know, we've played Newcastle away, Brighton away. We've played Arsenal at home. We've played 4 away games, 3 home games.
It's not getting any easier. Trust me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But I think these are the kind of, I don't even overly worry about most games at home. I genuinely believe that most, like, outside the top 6, I expect us to win, you know, the other 13 games 100%. And then the rest of the top 6, I expect us to beat most of them at home, or at least try. Obviously, we lost to Arsenal already, so that theory is a little shaky. But yeah, I'm confident we'll beat West Ham.
All right. We're actually about to switch the topics. What's up, guys? The guy's asking what's the topic. We're about to just get into the Liverpool-Chelsea game right now. When Vader and what do you call it, Rack get back in here, we're gonna ask them for their opinions. Is Bentancur available? Do you know if Bentancur is available, Jay?
He is available. I've heard the rumor doing the rounds at Spurs is that Bentancur's bad because of the stuff he said on video and stuff. Spurs are kind of challenging the authority of the FA because they're basically saying it happened when he was on international duty. Then why would it not be an international ban? Same way that the FA said Enzo is out of our remit because he was on international duty. Spurs are arguing
because he did it on national television.
When he did it on television, when he's outside of the remit of the Premier League, why are you holding us accountable? So, yeah, like I think he's available, all good. I don't know if he'll start though. Bizuma might start, but
we will have to wait and see. Rack, are you there? You know what? We're gonna get started with the Chelsea.
I think he's eating pasta.
We're gonna get started with the Chelsea Liverpool situation in a second, but I'm just gonna quickly do the Arsenal section, guys. We're playing Bournemouth. We're playing Bournemouth
at home or away.
Bournemouth at home. I mean, Bournemouth away. And
it's
Bournemouth,
tricky. It's tricky.
Bournemouth away is a tricky game. We're going to have to be solid defensively, catch them, break them down, and then just hold on to the lead and not give them any silly chances. Bournemouth are that team that if they can nick something off you last minute, and it can cause a problem.
Bournemouth are the sort of team you got.
But away from home versus Bournemouth, we have been relatively good lately, beating them quite convincingly. So I am not going to go and say I'm too worried about Bournemouth, but I am concerned about who's going to be available. Saka went off injured for versus Greece. He should be back. Martin Odegaard's still not back. Kai Havertz didn't play international duty. He should be back though. Martinelli didn't play the second game for Brazil. He should be back though. Ben White, Timber, and Zinchenko are expected to be close to returning, so we will see if they're all available for the upcoming game. And Thomas Partey is fit. Tomiyasu is still out injured. So that is the update on the injury situation. And I expect us to beat Bournemouth, probably like a 2-0. Not really too concerned. I think this is a quick game where we can discuss and keep it moving. But yeah, Vader, why you got your finger up? Put your finger down. What are you saying?
No. My finger's up because I got some questions here. Are we believing these international injuries, or is this not a call in from Arteta being like, guys, make yourselves
He's learning from Pep.
Oh, here we go. He's learning from Pep.
He's learning from Pep. Pep did this for the last 2 years. We should have done this earlier. What the hell?
Pep has not done this for the last 2 years. Everybody
he
played.
did. He said Erling Haaland, forget about the World Cup qualifiers. Just take it off.
Yeah, because that's one player. Everybody else, we had the most players that played in the World Cup.
Bro,
he didn't learn this from Pep. I'm letting you run with that propaganda. That's not true.
Norway would have made it to the World Cup, would have made it to the Euros.
If Odegaard had stepped up.
No. If he played more games in those games where Odegaard was left by himself, then maybe Norway could have got to the Euros or to the World Cup. But no, Erling Haaland wanted to sit out for City.
Okay, so we're using one Erling Haaland example to say that Arteta learned this from Pep. Come on, you're better than this, Igal.
Bro,
he's not better than this.
Igal, also, come on. For Norway to get, do you think Erling Haaland would intentionally sit out a game with the prospect of Norway going to a World Cup?
Yeah,
bear in mind, I don't think Norway have ever appealed in a World Cup, at least in recent memory. That would not happen. That would not be because of that. If he missed Norway games for actual qualifiers, it would have been because he's injured. Erling Haaland wouldn't. How many players do that? Well, it's an actual qualifier.
He's missed qualifiers.
Yeah, so Miguel, your propaganda is not running right now.
They're different. That's a different story. It's whether you're questioning whether he missed them legitimately. I'm saying if Norway had an opportunity to go to the World Cup, Erling Haaland would play because he would, regardless of what he's won, what in terms of club career, this would cement him as a Norwegian legend as well as as the best player that arguably Norway's ever produced.
Exactly.
Maybe he thought they were good enough to beat Latvia. Maybe without him.
Yeah, this propaganda about learning from Pep about keeping players out of international duty. That ain't us. You got to find someone else to pin that on. That's all I'm saying.
People saying Arsenal are so desperate. It's true though. Anyways, we'll keep it moving. I think some of the injuries are precautionary, and the players do have knocks, and they just don't want to go pick up further injuries because we've seen what happened to Odegaard last international break. Let's be honest, as a club, we don't want that to happen again, especially when there's a third international break in November. So it's like, yo, if the games are only Nation Leagues games, why not?
Yeah.
And also, does anybody here actually think Bournemouth are going to take points off Arsenal? Because I'm not too concerned about I might be I'm more worried about potential rotation than I am Bournemouth hitting us with 3 or 4 goals in this game.
Yeah,
you'll beat them.
Yeah, I'll say real quick. I'll say this real quick. I think it's one of those games where you're pretty nervy because you're like, okay, what's the rotation going to be? Who's the 11? And whether you start well or not. But if it's a poor first 20 minutes or even maybe a poor first half, and Arteta brings on stronger players just to seal the game out, you guys are winning this. There's no concern.
There you go. And guys, we got 145 of you guys watching, only 50 likes. That is 30%. That's about, what is that? About 33% of you guys almost. Please do hit that like button, guys. Let's get at least 50% of you guys in here hitting that like. Let's get at least 75 plus likes if you guys can do that for me.
Hey, can I ask you a question about Gabriel Jesus?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I was going to move on to the Liverpool game.
Yeah, no, listen, I don't want to lump on because obviously man is having a tough time at the moment. Are you of the opinion that now are you at the acceptance stage of where Jesus is like City? They had him as a number 9. Eventually, he was doing what he's as a number 9. Do you have any confidence in him as a number 9, or do you think he should be repurposed as a winger at this point?
Bro, this is last season at Arsenal. He needs to find a way to be utilized. Yeah. I think this is last season. He needs to find a way to be utilized from now to the end of the season, be it as a winger or as a striker. But when he's coming off the bench or when he's starting, he's not looking effective. And
but also I think some of
I do think he's a little bit of a confidence player. Also,
I was going to say. I think
he needs the starts. He needs to have more time on the pitch to get better. But we just don't have the patience.
Yeah, no, I mean it's the same way that you don't have the time for young players essentially to bed in. You don't have the time to play players into form per se, especially in the title race. So I get where you're coming from.
1 second. To be fair, we have been playing Ethan and Miles Lewis-Skelly. So
no, absolutely. And listen, I like Jesus. I always think he's a little bit more razzle dazzle than output, but I think he's still a good player. And obviously, he's got big
razzle dazzle.
Yeah, he's putting out all this.
He's like he's saying all the notes, man. He's saying all the notes, man.
Back there.
Yo, just be careful. Let's move on to the next topic. I don't know why he said razzle dazzle. I've never heard anyone say that.
Hey, what do you mean? I haven't heard anyone say that meme about. So I saw that meme about saying like white people slang. They need to like bring it back. Yeah.
I see that video.
You're on thin ice, buddy. I was like razzle dazzle. Yeah. So
what was the other word that he said?
You're on thin ice, buddy. And it's like, you in what army? Yeah, all the sayings.
Cut the malarkey. Cut the malarkey.
Yeah. So,
let's keep it moving. Ahmed, what are you saying? You're Liverpool, Chelsea. Talk to me. We got sorry, not Man United, Ahmed. Chelsea, Ahmed.
I'm looking, honestly, I said this before. I feel like I've been looking forward to this. It's going to be a really good test for us at the end of the day. I want to see how much the team has progressed, how well we at so far. And I think of Liverpool, this is going to be a great test for me at the end of the day. And I really look forward to seeing what our players can do. I think a lot of our players, from what I've been hearing and seeing, are being quite underestimated. Quite a few players of us, which I'm looking forward to seeing. Them. What's it called? And that respect that they need to do, because I think something that I've said about this team is that I call it like the redeem team. Some like a team that needs to kind of like redeem the badge, redeem us as a team, and make sure that that there's a reminder that we put fear into a lot of these teams at the end of the day. So at the end of the day with Liverpool, I think they've been playing really well. I will give them credit where credit is due. They've done what they needed to against the opposition they've had to do. And listen, Anfield's a hard place to come to, but at the end of the day, bro, I've got to back my team. I'm not gonna say we're gonna win, but I do think we can get a draw against Liverpool. So for me, I said 1-1, if not 2-2.
All right. Before we go to Iraq, I just have a couple questions. One, Cole Palmer is being questioned if he's a big game player. People calling him a little bit of a flat track bully. Also, you have Chelsea fans saying that they have a superior squad to Liverpool's. And final take that we're hearing from Chelsea fans and people online is that Liverpool should fear Chelsea's attack, and their defense. Yes, it's good, but your attack is that it's just as good as their defense, and you can get at them. So
I think
or disagree with all these takes.
I think the first thing, yeah. I don't think that's true that obviously Cole Palmer is a flat track bully against the top six opposition. I think that's just, again, the usual rubbish takes. And at the end of the day, even if I was to say, okay, Cole Palmer's a flat track bully, I shouldn't be relying on Cole Palmer to do the job for me against top opposition. There's a reason why I've got Nicholas Jackson, Christopher Nkunku, João Felix, Madueke, Sancho, even Mudryk to an extent, even though I know a lot of people don't believe in him necessarily. But I've got attackers there that should be doing a job. It shouldn't be down to just one player for me to be, relying upon on a consistent basis. There has to be more than one guy that I need to rely upon in the team. In regards to your
know why people call him that though? The reason why they say that is because he scored 7 goals against the Big Six and got 1 assist, but 5 of them are penalties, and they're just discrediting him.
At the end of the day, one thing I always say, bro, we can criticize penalties all we like, bro, but there are people who crumble when taking penalties, bro. Simple as that.
He's never missed a penalty in his career. Fair. So, what about the squad question before we go to Iraq?
I don't know, man. Again, I would have to probably look at it a bit more. But again, at the end of the day, it's not about who has the superior squad. It's about who is the superior team on the day. That's what should really be mattering. Shouldn't matter who has the superior squad. You know what I mean? But I think that's Vita, by the way. But
yeah.
Right. And then I think the third point. What's the third question again? Because you said obviously flat player, Brilly, the squad, and there was one more thing you said.
Oh, should Liverpool fear Chelsea's attack?
I think a lot of our wingers are getting underestimated. That's one thing I will say. I've been hearing, if you look up Cole Palmer, it's finito. And I'm we need to show some respect to some of these wingers that we do have, whether it be a Madueke, whether it be a Sancho, sorry, I should say, sorry. I think something that they've done really well this season is the way our team has been able to find ways to isolate fullbacks quite well and actually get into consistent 1v1 situations. And I feel like, again, our wingers are probably one of the best when it comes to that. So I think for me, bro, it's just I feel like a lot of people are underestimating our wingers quite a bit, in my personal opinion.
Ahmed, ask Iga and Arteta have seen nightmares about.
Listen, a lot of people don't know this, bro. Chelsea gave Liverpool one of their worst nightmares in their own home ground. We've done this before, by the way. This is nothing new. All you need to do, just ask Steven Gerrard what we did to him.
Are you talking about the goal score?
No, we gave Liverpool their worst nightmare. The goal score was against us. Remember? You know what I mean? We gave them one of the worst.
He's not falling for it.
No, this is not even me doing we actually gave they've given us the goal score. Bro, I was so pissed off when that happened, bro. I
Rack
literally
is so chill right now. I'm impressed.
All right, let me go to Rack.
Yes.
Let me go to Rack. Rack, give me your opening monologue on the game, and then I got 3 questions for you.
So look, in my Liverpool supporting life, obviously, my biggest rival, the team that I hate the most, the team that is the worst to lose to and is the best to beat is Manchester United, right? Now, they're my main rivals. Growing up in London, I didn't have Everton fans all around me, but, there was always United fans around. And then at some point in the kind of early 2000s, a certain Russian billionaire showed up, and an intense rivalry developed between Liverpool and Chelsea. Up until that point, I kind of didn't mind Chelsea because Chelsea were coming from they had a few seasons of relative success, but they were probably the third biggest team in London at that point. I think it's fair to say probably between them and West Ham, kind of more or less on the same level.
They were the third biggest?
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
Third. And what are they now?
No, well, I don't know. I don't want to get involved in that conversation right now.
I tried to catch him.
I plead the fifth, Your Honor.
I tried to get him.
And obviously, in that Benitez and Mourinho time, I developed a huge hatred, not even a dislike. I'm going to say it as it is, hatred for Chelsea. I think there was a feeling amongst Liverpool fans that these guys have come in with all this money and they've supplanted us. To be fair, much like I think that's something maybe similar to how Liverpool fans have felt about Man City to some extent, and how now Arsenal fans are feeling about Man City, because Arsenal fans didn't really complain too much about Man City when they were 7th or 8th. But it's only when you're at the top end of the game, when you're fighting for trophies, that's when these things matter, and you feel like you're being done over it to some extent. So I have no qualms about saying I absolutely hate Chelsea. They're my second most detested team. It's the best feeling when we beat them, and it's the worst feeling if we drop points to them. And I smell blood, and I want to take those 3 points on Sunday. That's what I want.
Right. First thing wrong,
Chelsea. If I look at player for player and I look at the profile, there are players on this Chelsea team that I like the look of, like Cole Palmer. He's a bit of a throwback. He's an old school creative player, which you don't see too often these days. So I can look at him and I can give him credit and stuff. But that doesn't. Yeah,
Vader has to throw in that mark.
No, but there was some talk about perhaps Man City being interested in him as a KDB replacement further down the line and stuff like that. And I can kind of see that because he's got that kind of potential level of talent. So no, I know. Look, never say never, right? Never say never. But he's one of those players that I like the look of. There were other players. Colwell, I think, is a good defender. But I'm after the 3 points on Sunday, and nothing less than 3 points will do. We're there to win.
I'm just gonna say this: Mac 10 apparently is injured. Is that true? That's one of my questions. People in the chat want to know if you know anything about McAllister picking up an injury, if there's any major injuries in this game ahead of your time. Number one. Number two, are you starting to get extremely concerned that Mo Salah, Trent, and Van Dijk, neither of them have signed a contract yet, especially with Real Madrid tuning up their efforts to get Trent Alexander-Arnold. Starting December 1st, they can officially offer him a contract.
January 1st.
No, it's December. You can get pre-agreements starting to work on them in December. You can't sign it until January officially. You can't officially speak to a player until January the 1st. So I don't know how you can work on a pre-agreement. I'm pretty sure Chelsea got a deal done with a player in December.
Chelsea.
Of course, look, don't get me wrong. I understand that regardless of the rules, talks go on, but I don't think they can. I don't think anything can be. You had what do you call it? Sorry, what's his name? Not Madueke. What's the guy from RB Leipzig with the balloons?
You mean in Kunku? We were already speaking of him in the summer.
The guy with the balloons.
Yes, in Kunku. Yes,
why did you guy with the balloons?
His name slipped my mind for a second.
Yes.
You thought that was disrespectful.
Look, I'm no more concerned, which is to say that I am concerned that we haven't tied 3 world-class players down to long-term contracts. And don't get me wrong. I mean, look, I don't want to open this whole Van Dijk best defender.
Do it.
No. But the point is, we should not be letting world-class players go. All those three are world-class. And Trent obviously is a homegrown player, and he's younger than the other two. So that kind of hits a bit different. I really hope it gets done. And if it doesn't get done, it will be a massive blow. But I don't necessarily think it affects the rest of this season. Like, I still think even if Trent leaves, he's going to win the Premier League with his boyhood club, right? Just even if he, say for example, even if he signs a pre-contract, whatever, he's not going to say, I signed a pre-contract, I don't really give a shit about Liverpool anymore. He'll still want to win, right? He'll still want to win everything that he can. Van Dijk and Salah, obviously, we'll see. But I hope they sign.
All right. But finally, Liverpool fans. Just on that, one second. There's one more thing. Liverpool fans online are going absolute crazy at the fact that he could be joining Real Madrid. Do you see yourself, one, as a European rival of Real Madrid, and two, would it be a betrayal if he joined them?
What do you mean by betrayal? Like,
that's the words your fan base is using. They're saying it would be an utter betrayal to Liverpool if he went on a free to Real Madrid.
Look, he's a homegrown player, and you never want to lose homegrown. Well, you never want to lose homegrown players that you hold in high esteem. All Liverpool fans want him to stay. It's just like when we've all been there, and whether you say it, we've all tried it with a girl, and then got turned down. But if you don't try, you don't get there. We've got the girl, but maybe she's looking elsewhere, and we shall see, right? We shall see. I don't want him to go. Let's put it that way. But if he goes, Liverpool,
you're struggling to keep a satisfied Rax.
I don't know. I'm not saying. Maybe.
Great analogy.
Maybe she's giving those gold digger eyes to some other guy.
Oh, listen. The thing is,
no, I'm joking. But you guys get the analogy, right?
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time Real Madrid is taking players from any of our teams, so I don't think that's that. And it's not a rivalry like it's not like he's joining Man United or something, because you don't. Look, growing up in England, you don't have Madrid fans like on your doorstep all the time, right? So you don't have that banter in the classroom or at work or whatever. It's a different kind of rivalry. Like the whole European rivalry thing.
I know Twitter is a cesspit sometimes, but when you see fans and a large portion of your fan base saying if he joins Real Madrid,
what is a large portion?
50,000 like tweet.
Yeah, but that could be from rivals too.
But is large 50,000, or that could be A, that could be from anybody, and B, as a percentage of the global Liverpool fan base, or even let's just say the Liverpool fan base on Twitter, is that a large percentage? I don't know. All I will say is none of us. If you say to Vader, do you want to lose Erling Haaland to Man City? Do you want to lose Saka to Man City? Do you want to lose Cole Palmer to I keep saying Man City. I mean Real Madrid. None of us want to lose players, but sometimes your head gets turned, and we got.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is though? Like, this is Real Madrid's road.
I'll wait. So I'll let you make your point because it's probably very relevant to the point you just made. But let the record state that I'm a team player. So go on.
I just wanted to say, Real Madrid's modus operandi these days is like, let's get these guys for free. You know what I mean? Real Madrid want to get these guys for free and then give them the big contract, bro, because they can't compete with the EPL financially, if that makes sense. They can only compete with them. Yeah, you know what I mean? In that sort of thing. So as such, that's what they do, man.
Yeah, and this is the thing, right? They wouldn't be paying a transfer fee, so they can take some of the money they would have invested into a transfer fee and put it into player wages. It's kind of like what they did with what's his name, the central midfielder, from Nantes, I think they bought him.
What you mean, too many?
I think Camavinga. Guys like this, they wait until the end of their contract. They're probably doing something similar with Alphonso Davies. And let's not, obviously, apart from it being Real Madrid, they have got exciting young players there, right? So as a project, it's not like you're going to some random team. They've got a lot of exciting young players. They're going to be battling out at the top end of European football. So I think any player in Trent's circumstances, they'd want to listen, right? If Saka's 26 and he's in this position, he'd want to listen. If Haaland is 26 in this position, you'd at least listen, and then you may decide to stay on.
You know what? I'm gonna actually let Jay go. Sorry, go ahead, bro.
It's all good. So listen, just a couple of points. So the Liverpool transfer thing is, I think, one, obviously you look at FSG and how much they want to spend and yada yada. But on the other hand, you can be a bit unlucky with the timings, the changing of strategy, changing of directors of football and stuff like that. So I look at it. I think first of all, Liverpool fans have a good track record of being fucking irate when a player wants to leave them. Yeah, it doesn't matter who you are. If you want to leave,
that's why Rax is off camera right now.
Yeah, if you want to leave. Let's not forget. Yeah, Liverpool's the reason that Sterling has a narrative about him. A lot of the initial hate for Sterling came from Liverpool when he wanted to leave them. Yeah, before he wanted to leave Liverpool, a lot of the stuff that was said about Sterling now was not said. Gerrard, when he wanted to leave originally, Suarez was just an animal when he wanted to leave. Until he wanted to leave, best player in the Prem, top player. Yeah. So my point is that that's somewhat natural. I remember with Kane, when Kane wanted to leave, I remember the board, Spurs, they got a lot of criticism from some of the Spurs fans because you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Yeah, if Liverpool sell Trent for 100 million coming into this season, yeah, the fan base, FSG, you're mad, you're crazy, what you doing, horrible owners. They let him run into the last year of his contract, which you've got to make the argument he might have wanted to do regardless. Do you know what I mean? And now you're at a point where you're probably going to have to offer him 300 plus to keep him. Yeah. And the question then is, moving forward, is that what you want to do? You're going to be paying nearly a million a week, at least 800 to 900 a week to retain these three players. Yeah. So it's very, to me, it's very interesting. Liverpool have been always very good at timing this. And I believe that the reason they've not renewed some of these is because to an extent, they want to save money. You save money from not renewing it with a big sign-on and this and that. And they're gambling a little bit here. And it's not that I don't trust them to replace him because they've got Edwards and their strategy. And, it's to me, it's just how much money do they have to spend if these players leave without, actually recouping a transfer fee to be able to spend in the market.
I think there's another question that you got to ask yourself before you go, which is that I think when Liverpool were doing what they were doing, I think a lot of clubs were not doing the data thing that that they were doing previously. Now you've got a ton of other clubs now who are kind of doing various things now, almost maybe on steroids compared to what Liverpool were doing, spending that money to be able to do so. I think the question I have is, are they going to be able to find these gems? That maybe they kind of had a free run on compared to others, if that makes sense.
All right. Yeah. I don't want to spend too much time on that, the trend thing, because I feel like it's going to be a conversation that's going to be going for at least a year plus. So we're gonna have this discussion many times. Let's get back to the game. If we look at the two teams and we actually look at the quality, both teams have had some players that have been performing out of their skin. Now, defensively, Liverpool trumped Chelsea. Yeah, I think in every single position. The only position you could probably debate if you did a combined 11 between the two teams is maybe left back. But would you guys say Cucurella has been better than Robertson or?
Yeah, I think Cucurella has been better than Robertson currently. I think Gusta's not been as good as he's.
Wait, is Cucurella available? I thought he's on suspension.
No, he's not available, but just based on the run of the season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'd say he's better.
All right. So then midfield, if we were to do a midfield, Cole Palmer's in 100%, Gravenberch is in, and then Caicedo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you agree with that, Rack?
Yeah, I don't like combining.
Hold on. So is the remaining place for McAllister?
There's no place for McAllister because
there's no place for McAllister.
No,
they're playing a 3.
It's going to be
listen,
a free.
I'm not. Listen, I'm not having Gravenberch over McAllister.
Bro, let's keep
Sorry.
it real. Gravenberch and Caicedo have been two of the best CM/DMs in the league.
Man, listen. Gravenberch.
Cole Palmer is playing the 10.
Hold on. Let me just make this point about Gravenberch. Liverpool have played teams, in my opinion, that have not tested his defensive capability as much as it could be tested in relation to the quality of side he's playing and the quality of attackers he's been up against. So to me, if you're asking me who the better player is, McAllister or Gravenberch, it's McAllister. Yeah? If you're asking me to make a combined 11 and I only have one spot for McAllister or Gravenberch, I'm picking McAllister. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's criminal to take out Gravenberch. He's been one of the most improved players this season, and he's been one of Liverpool's best players. McAllister has not been better than Gravenberch.
For me, I'm like, listen, like Liverpool fans were waxing lyrical about McAllister. And I'm trying to say, Caicedo's been I think he's been very impressive. He's played well,
but it's based on form.
But the thing is Gravenberch has been in good form. But my point is if you had Xavi and then you had fucking, I don't know, like Isaac Cuenca, and Isaac Cuenca was in good form, yeah, are you dropping Xavi? And I'm saying that's a very extreme. That's a very extreme.
No, but I just think for me, if you look at even the way Caicedo's been, I think probably if not top 3 CMs in the league. So like, I just don't see how
Gravenberch has been the best.
Yeah. So like, exactly. So like, I don't know what you're doing.
I think up until this point of the season, Gravenberch has been the best midfielder in the league.
I can't listen. I can never.
And I'm not including 10s. I'm not including 10s.
I don't care how well Gravenberch has played. Yeah, like if Caicedo's a lock, yeah, then I have to pick McAllister. Like, but if you guys want to say it's a Gravenberch Caicedo midfield, just based purely off this 7 games, I mean, it's quite similar last season. Do you remember when we were doing Bazuma and stuff, and you were saying to me, "Well, what? Like, how is this guy not in the team?" And people were trying to justify Bazuma in over Rice and stuff. So I'm just basically trying to be fair here and say I'm not even sure McAllister's even played badly. McAllister's not even playing badly. He's still playing well. Gravenberch is how much is Gravenberch he's so much improved from what he was doing last season versus objectively he's outstanding.
Because
I know he's doing well statistically. I'm still a McAllister over Gravenberch guy.
All right. Can we all agree, though, Cole Palmer gets in the 10?
Yeah, the opinion was going to deny that.
Yeah.
So the argument is now going to be, do you agree with my front 3? I've taken Jota out. I put Mo Salah on the right, Luis Diaz on the left, and I put Jackson. So I think that is a fair combined 11 if you were to do one.
I think that's fair.
That's one of the fairest I've seen you ever make, actually.
Yeah, like, listen, obviously, we got to away.
This is a new Egal. This is like a new Egal.
We haven't really seen him in this position, but I would actually consider Cole Palmer as a false 9, and maybe Diaz. I think that could work as well potentially. It depends.
So you're saying put him at 9 and replace Jackson with McAllister?
I mean,
but I don't
think McAllister's been better than Jackson.
Yeah, but Jackson's
been good.
Jackson's been good. Yeah, Jackson deserves to be in that 11.
Yeah, I think Jackson deserves to be in there.
Does it look better though?
No,
not really.
Not really.
No,
not really. Alternatively, you could maybe.
That was a good try, Rack.
You could like on form, yeah. Who's playing better, Madueke or Salah?
That's what I was. Listen,
Salah. You guys know what you want to do.
I don't think too much.
I didn't want to do form. No, I didn't want to do form. So you want to do form? Let's do form. You want to do form? Let's do form.
Ahmed has definitely secretly DM'd James. Like, Jay,
1 second. Whatever way you flip it,
these two collaborating behind the scenes.
Listen, there, man.
1 second. Whatever way you try to take it, take away his hat trick. He's been pretty much non-existent.
Take away his hat trick. Cool, man. If we're just taking it away,
guess who scored in the last game? Guess who scored in his last game? Wait, guess who scored in the last game for Chelsea? Madueke.
Yeah, I know, but
So-
Mo
so-
Salah
so
has
that
been
again,
scored
like,
or
we can't-
assisted every game this season except for 2.
Well, so what? Jackson's not scored. By the way, he's not scored in 2 games, if I'm not mistaken. He has in his. Then he scored in his 3rd game. So
We're not really comparing.
you know what I
Mo
mean.
Salah's
Listen,
start to the season
and
to
also, man, you know,
Premier
Luis Diaz. You know, I know he's got 5 goals and 3 assists, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, compare his last 3 games to Sancho's last 3 games.
Are you
In terms of
really?
form.
I don't think there's a conversation between Sancho and Luis Diaz.
In
Luis
terms
Diaz
of
has been doing
form,
it for the whole season.
in terms of form, I would argue there might be.
No, but Luis Diaz has been doing this since the beginning of the season. Your man came in and has done it for 3 games.
He's done it for technically 4 games in a row, mate. Just because he didn't assist in the last game, he was still dynamite.
All right. I don't think there's much of an argument with Luis Diaz and Salah, but if you think there is,
you know, listen again. This is what I'm talking about when I say I think a lot of our attackers are being reduced. You know what I mean? But listen, I listen. Hopefully after Sunday,
this conversation will be changed.
Yeah,
you notice how he doesn't make any arguments for centre backs or goalkeeper or right back.
I think
You
right
really
back.
can't.
I think my issue with right back is I would have put Gusto there personally, but the reality is right now he's not played enough, in my personal opinion. A and B, he's still a bit rusty right now. Once he gets into form, I think then you can have that discussion. And obviously, Reece James is back now. Hopefully, he stays fit. And in my personal opinion, if he stays fit and we know what he can give me, he's always been clear of Trent for me. But in terms of both the defensive action and the offensive action.
All right, we're gonna have to speak about this after the game to see who actually has the better team and players, how they perform. But let's give our predictions now. Let's give our predictions. I'll go first, and I'll just say I think it's gonna be a cagey game. Call me whatever you want to call me, sitting on the fence or anything, but I do think the 2 teams are going to neutralize each other on the day, and it's going to be a high-scoring draw. 2-2. Chelsea.
I said 2-2 as well. I said 2-2 as well.
I think it's going to be a 2-2, and the reason being Liverpool's defense has not faced an attack this good yet, and Chelsea have not faced a team this good yet either. So it is a real good judgment test to see how you 2 teams fare, and we'll see how and I'll get to actually see how you guys are capable and how you guys actually match up. But I do think Chelsea's attack is good enough to score against you, but at the same time I do think Liverpool are good enough to catch you guys out and get you also. If Liverpool take a 2-goal lead, I expect them to keep it, but if Chelsea get a 2-goal lead, I could see you guys dropping off and Liverpool getting back into the game. Regardless, I give Liverpool the edge. If I were to pick a winner, I would give Liverpool the edge, but it would be a slight edge. I don't think it's as much of a landslide as guys like my brother Hussam have been saying. But yeah, talk to me.
If I can,
no. Let Vader go. Vader, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to drop, unfortunately. If I can say this, I think this game it's obviously going to be the game of the weekend, and I think it's going to reveal. Yeah, it's going to reveal who is actually the pretender. Not game of the year. Relax. But this game's gonna reveal who is the pretender. Because Chelsea been talking. I noticed Ahmed's talking with a lot more chest, talking about his players being included in these starting 11s, talking about who's best in form, talking about City regretting Cole Palmer, all this kind of talk. It's gonna reveal whether these players are what they say to be. And then at the same time, we've been watching Liverpool. Rack's over there, emotional eating because he's stressing on how long he's going to remain at the top. But we've got Liverpool that have comfortably been number 1, but have they been tested? So I want to see this game. I think Liverpool are vulnerable because some of the cutting passes, some of the plays behind, some of the back runs that I see Chelsea do, I think can really get at Liverpool and test that defense. It's at Anfield, and that's the only reason why I'm giving Liverpool the win. But I'm giving them the win 2-1. That's the only reason.
Everyone in the comment section, give me your predictions right now for Liverpool, Chelsea, and also make sure you like the video. We're 30 likes away from having 100 likes. Please do like the video right now. Ahmed, not Ahmed Chelsea, Ahmed Man United. Give me your prediction for Liverpool, Chelsea.
Listen, I think Chelsea are winning this one, bro.
Wow.
Chelsea are winning this. I'll tell. Listen, bro. Liverpool have started off well. They're doing good, innit? They're doing good. But for me personally, is that I just personally think with their attack, with Chelsea's attack, that they're going to be creating a lot of chances, yeah. And then Liverpool, their defense is going to get tested. I don't think their fullbacks, for me personally, like their fullbacks aren't really, especially on the left-hand side, I don't think their left back is really great. Cole Robertson, but at the end of the day, this ain't 2018 Robertson. Midfield-wise, it's going to be, but both teams have good midfield. Both of them have good midfield. I know Chelsea, they struggle defensively, but I look at Liverpool's attack, and I know Diaz is on form, and Salah, you know, he can score on that, but I think if they lock off Salah, just keep him quiet for the game, they can get something. Because, bro, Forest got a result against Liverpool at their ground, so, you know, I think Chelsea should be going into this. You know what? They can actually win this game. That's not me discounting Liverpool being good. Honestly, I think Chelsea can win.
All right. Jay, what are you saying?
Ahmed, man, you have to say it with chest, bro. Come
Jay's
on,
not
Chelsea.
I think, listen, I'm backed my team to get 2-2. I think it's going to be a bit more really competitive.
Man said I backed my team to get 2-2.
All right, let's hear from Jay. Jay, what are you saying?
So let's listen. This game is the most like, I don't know, fixture, because Chelsea have shown they're good. I actually think Chelsea have shown they're a good side this season. Like, they played pretty well against City. They smashed up Wolves. They rolled their luck against Bournemouth, but won. Like, they've got Palmer. When you've got a player like Palmer in the form he's in, he's just a big threat. Now, Liverpool, on the other hand, they remind me a little bit of Spurs last season. They genuinely do. Like, in terms of the run that they've had so far, the type of teams that they played, even down to the fact that we played United, they played United. United's arguably the best team that they beat. You know, the other team, like, so to me, I don't know how good Liverpool are. You know, I look at them in the Champions League, they've done all right against Milan, and Milan good. I don't know. Like, big question mark over Liverpool. On the flip side with Chelsea, they got two of their first choice defense up. Yeah. So even from like a synergy, playing together point of view, things like that, that's to me is like, So normally, if I can't pick, it normally means I think it should be a draw. Yeah. Like, if I can't pick between the ties, really, Liverpool should be winning this. Really. Like, Liverpool should be like, yeah. To me, Liverpool are the favorites, but I think it's going to be a draw. Specifically, I'll go 1-1 with lots of missed chances.
Fair. Let's go to Rock. Rock, what are you saying? What's your score prediction?
So I'm very confident going into this. I'm confident, because Liverpool, even though obviously we've only, been only managed the club for a short period of time, but these players have shown that they can play at a very high level. On our day, we can beat any team in the world. We are still one of the best teams in the world, and we've proved it over the years far more than this Chelsea team have. And obviously, Slot has to come in and prove that. And this particular team hasn't played anyone significant this season, fine. But we do have enough credit in the bank for me to be able to say with chest that we should be winning this game convincingly. I think Chelsea's start has been good, but similar to us, they haven't really played anyone. But I'm not going to give them credit because they haven't played anyone. They have been impressive in terms of the way they play. They broke teams down, and arguably even the games they've dropped points, and they've maybe arguably been a little bit unlucky. But I'm not going to give them credit until they've earned it, and so that's why I'm going to say I may be wrong, but I reckon I will get a convincing win, and I'm going to say 3-0.
3-0. Wow. If you beat them 3-0, you'll get a lot of respect from everybody, and that's when people will say, you know what, you went.
But this is the thing. Even if we beat them 3-0, I will still have kind of question marks about it because what I'm saying is that so far Chelsea haven't proved it for me. You could say either, but what I'm saying is that we haven't proved it in this Slot era to the same extent because we haven't played as many tough teams. But Chelsea haven't proved it at all. So I'm gonna the barometer for Liverpool is when we come and play Arsenal, and we go and play Man City, and when we play Real Madrid, and possibly when we play Bayer Leverkusen. that's when I know that we have to be at our top level, and then I'll have a better idea of where our level is. Because those teams, I know where they are. I don't know where Chelsea is right now. They have performed well so far, but how good is that?
We're gonna have to wait and see. You're right. And also, before we go any further, the final thing, Ahmed, have you given up on Enzo? Have you sold your stocks?
I don't really have any stocks in any place at Chelsea. My stock is always with the badge. Thank you.
Okay. So do you believe Enzo will play against Liverpool?
That is up to Enzo Maresca.
Ahmed was so happy with that response. He was like, "My stocks are only with the badge."
Have you seen
that? And he wasn't expecting the follow-up question.
Are you a better team without Enzo Fernandez?
That is something for Enzo Maresca to stand and find out. Thank you.
Do you disagree with these statistics?
Thank you. Thank you.
Stats. You know what I mean? We're just going to keep it pushing. Thank you.
Okay, what about the games that he's played? What about the games that he's played? He's lost more games than he's won or drawn at Chelsea.
Well, the stats.
That's very interesting.
The stats are interesting. Again, the gaffer's going to have to decide what he wishes to do.
All right. He pleads the fifth, ladies and gentlemen.
Ahmed's been on media trading day, man. You know Ahmed's been on media trading day.
There you go. He is done.
I mean, I was actually at Active Engineering conference today, so
big up Ahmed for joining us. Big up Jay for joining us. Really do appreciate it. Big up everyone for joining us. We're out of here, guys. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Most likely I'll try to do it Sunday, but if I can't do it Sunday, we'll maybe have to do a special episode on Monday or something if you guys are available. But yeah, for now, I bid you guys adieu. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Don't know. Peace, everyone.
Thank you.